Get ready to see how I made these beautiful trays. They look so high-end, you won't believe I made them starting at only $4. Plus, as always, DIY treats. Welcome to my channel, Craft, Eat, Repeat. Hi guys, it's Aneka, and welcome to my channel, Craft, Eat, Repeat. So it's been a minute since I've seen you guys, and that's because of just general holiday craziness and also just the weirdness that is 2020. Now, as I record this, we are going into the Christmas holiday and into the new year, and I've got to tell you, I'm looking forward to the new year. But I was super excited after all of this busyness to be able to find a very quick, very simple, very affordable, which is the best of all, DIY that I can make some last minute gifts plus some decor for my home. So if you're watching this and it's not around Christmas time, hang with me. This is perfect for any time of the year. So before we get started, I want to say welcome if you're new here. If you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button. Everyone hit the notification bell so you'll be ready when my next video comes out. And when the video is over, please head down to the comments and let me know which one of these was your favorite, or as always, you can just say hi. Also, don't forget to find me on my social media platforms. Show me what you're working on. What are you inspired by? What is giving you joy these days? I would love to see it. Now, to start out this DIY, I made a trip to one of my favorite places, not the Dollar Tree, which you guys know I love, but I headed to Lowe's this time. And I just took a stroll down the tile aisle. Okay, try saying that 5 times fast. But I took a stroll down the aisle that had all the tiles on it, and there is just an array of things to choose from. Now you can choose marble if you're a little more fancy. There's some mosaic looking tiles if you're a little more boho, like what I lean towards. Whatever you're looking for, you can definitely find it. After I had chosen the tiles that I wanted to go with, I made a trip down to the cabinetry aisle and once again was greeted with another wall of just like fun things to choose from. Now, one of these trays was going to be a gift for a friend who is way more put together than I ever am. She's got more of that glam style going on, so I chose a marble tile for her and I wanted to choose more of a sleek handle to go on it, and they had that. Now, when I started looking for myself, I wanted more of kind of a boho, more of a natural feel. They had that too. You guys, the prices of the handles range from about $1.50 all the way up to $5 or $6. Still affordable, even at the higher end of those. Now, once I got all the components of my trays that I needed from Lowe's, I was ready to head home and it was time to craft. Okay, so now let me show you how I put these together. I'm going to start out with this marble tile, which I thought was absolutely beautiful, and I grabbed some of these felt pads. Now, I have these just around my house to put under furniture, but if you don't have any, you could always just cover it completely on the bottom in felt. I also got these gold handles, which I thought were beautiful. These were $4 a piece, which is a little more than I paid for the ones that are going to stay with me, but these were a gift and I just wanted to get the ones that really caught my eye since I was going to be giving these away. Still though, $4 a piece, you can't beat that. It's still very affordable for how beautifully it comes out. Next, I'm just going to turn my tile over and I'm going to add some felt pads to the bottom. This way it will not scratch the surface of wherever my friend puts it on. And you could also attach these with a stronger adhesive if you think they might fall off, if they're not sticking well. Next, I'm just going to kind of eyeball and figure out where I want my handles to go, and I'm going to show you a little bit later how I'm going to attach them, but I needed to attach all of my trays handles at the same time, so I just kind of got an idea with what I wanted, and then I put it off to the side until I was ready for it. So here's another one of the tiles I got. Now, this one has more of a mosaic pattern, which is right up my alley, and of course, wood beads. So if you've been watching my channel channel for any length of time, you know how much I love wood beads. And since this one was staying with me, I wanted to make sure I added some on there. Also, I was thinking I would put some of my plants on there. So I wanted to just give it a little more height so that I could add a little bit of visual interest to my plant displays in my home. I did just use hot glue to attach these, but if you think you'll be moving it around more, I would suggest a stronger adhesive such as Gorilla Glue or E6000. Once I had put those on, I thought this looked beautiful. The wood just really looks great with the color on that tile, and I really liked how the final look came out. And these are the handles that I chose for this mosaic tile. And you guys, these were only about $1.50 per handle. That was an amazing price, and I love the texture that it adds. So I set that to the side and I got my final tile. Now I thought this one looked so cool, not too girly, and perfect for a space that my husband and I share. And I found these really cool handles that look super industrial, and I just loved the way it looked with this black marbled tile. Now, to add just a little more visual interest to this, I decided to use some chalkboard paint to paint a little strip onto the tile so that I could leave messages on it. I thought that would be really cool. So I just used some painter's tape to tape off a small section of my tile, and then I painted it with chalkboard paint. Now, if you need chalkboard paint, you can find it at your local Dollar Tree, Walmart, or any craft store, and it's really fun to have on hand, so I would suggest just buying a bottle and having it sitting there for fun projects like these. In order to attach my handles, I decided to use an epoxy because I wasn't sure if I wanted to carry things around, and this will hold up to 3,000 pounds of weight. So I wanted to make sure that my glue held really strong. I don't want any tiles dropping in my house. Make sure you follow the directions on the back of the package. And all you're going to need to do is use the syringe to push the epoxy components out in the same equal amounts, and then you're just going to stir it for at least 20 seconds. Now, once everything is completely combined, you have about 5 minutes to use this. So that's why I kind of set everything off to the side so that I could glue them all at the same time. Now, on my first tray, this was my first time trying it, and I definitely used too much epoxy. So don't go crazy like I did. And if any kind of squirts out of the side, you can wipe that up really quickly before it dries, because once it's dry, it's really hard and you are not going to be able to clean that up. But I just dabbed a little onto my handle, and then I attached that onto my tile. Once you have it in place, you kind of want to let it set. You don't want to disturb it, and that will give you the best bond that you could possibly have of your handles to your tile. Now for this tile, once everything was dry, I decided it needed a little bit more glamming up on the sides, so I just used some gold acrylic paint that I had on hand and painted the side of the tile. Now for the ones that I'll be keeping for myself, I like kind of more of that raw and natural edge, so it really didn't bother me. But for this one, I think the gold siding really added a little something. I absolutely love how this came out. What a great gift to give someone you love. Now that my chalkboard paint was dry, I used the exact same process to attach my handles to my next tray. And one thing you do want to be sure of with this, you guys, is that you're in a very well ventilated area. This smells very strong, and you just want to make sure that you're protecting your lungs. I really thought maybe afterwards that if I ever use this again, I will put a mask on with it while I make it, or just go ahead and go outside to do this step. It smelled really strong, and you can never be too careful with your own health. Now I just eyeballed this and put the handles on where I thought they looked nice and even. And The back of the package says that after 30 minutes, the glue is dry, but it needs at least 24 hours to cure. So if you're putting anything of any substantial weight on this, or really just carrying it at all with the handle because the weight of the tile is so much, I would definitely wait 24 hours to make sure this is completely dry. And last up was my mosaic tile that I really loved. I used the same epoxy to just attach both handles, and when it was dry, I had this sweet little stand for my plants. I cannot be happier with how these trays came out. Now, if I had to choose a favorite, I actually surprised myself because that mosaic tile is right up my alley, but that one that was kind of black and industrial with the industrial handles on it, just really, I love the way it came out. It's perfect to put in our bathroom that I share with my husband because it's not too girly. We can kind of both use it and it just looks gorgeous. But head down to the comments and let me know which one was your favorite. Now, in keeping with this theme of things that are quick, easy, affordable, and only have 2 to 3 ingredients, I'm going with Oreo truffles. Now, if you guys have not made these before, you need to stick around and watch this because this is deliciousness served on a platter. It is so easy and it's one of my favorite treats, so I really hope you enjoy it. Okay, guys, it's time to eat. Okay guys, forgive the lighting on this one. This was some middle of the night treat making, which let's face it, these treats always taste better somewhere around midnight. But all you're going to need for these is a package of Oreos. If your first one breaks, don't worry. That just means you were destined to eat that first piece. You're going to throw the rest of your Oreos into a food processor and grind it down until it is very, very crumbly and evenly textured. Next, we're going to add 1 8-ounce bar of cream cheese to the mixture, and we're going to run the food processor again until that is evenly combined. Now, I don't tend to let my cream cheese soften at all. I find if it's too soft, it's really hard to do the next step to form these into balls, so I take mine straight out of the fridge and just go ahead and throw it into the food processor. Next, we're going to take our Oreo cream cheese mixture and we're just going to form it into small little balls. I like to make mine somewhere between 1/2 inch and 1 inch, but just keep in mind, guys, that these are very rich. So depending on how much sweetness you like in one little poppable bite, you can use that as a guide as to how big to make them. Now, I stuck those back in the fridge so that they can harden up a little bit, and you could even leave them overnight if you want to do that for a party. And then the next day, or whenever you're ready, I'm going to grab some candy melts, and I'm just going to use the instruction on the back of the package to go ahead and melt these chocolate candy melts down until they're nice and smooth so that I can dip my Oreo and cream cheese mixture into the melted chocolate. These candy melts are nice because you don't have to temper them like chocolate and they come out looking really nice. So they save you a step and a little bit of headache, and so I use them very often. I'll be sure to link them in the description box below if you would like to grab any for yourself. They come in a lot of different colors, which would really make them fun for any holiday. So I'm going to go ahead and just cover each one of my little truffles in the chocolate. Now, because these were in the refrigerator, they are cold, so I did have to go back and heat up my chocolate a few times because it would start to get a little more hardened, but that was okay. And then I'm just going to knock any extra chocolate off of it and slide it back down onto my parchment paper. Now, once again, because these are cold, the chocolate on the outside is going to harden very quickly. So if you want to add sprinkles like I did or any kind of decoration, you need to go ahead and do that as you're dipping so that they will stick to the top of your truffle. Now, because we're kind of in the holiday season, I decided to go with some gold sprinkles on top of these just for a little New Year's type treat, but you can really do anything you want. These are going to be little bombs of chocolatey goodness no matter what you put on top. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this idea for affordable DIY decor. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, and share it with your friends. And I'll see you next time when we repeat it all again.